I moved to LA and there's so many talented artists. Like, you're all right, but.
This up now. I'm Daniel Silva, and you're watching TAT Talks, the first ever show where we interview celebrities, athletes, and influencers while they get tattooed. And today I have the pleasure of sitting down with ZAK Longo, the Canadian Godfather, coming from filmmaker to starring in reality shows like Are You the One, now having a cooking show on his YouTube channel, and also co-hosting in the infamous podcast Medium Rare. So ZAK, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
Finally.
I know,
I've been on the waiting list for 3 years.
It's a long wait, you guys. So just starting this off, I obviously know a lot about you, but I feel like the audience would want to know a little bit more as well.
Of course. So originally I'm from Toronto, Canada. Growing up, I always wanted to be in like the film business. Started out as an actor when I was like a kid, and then I was like sick of waiting for auditions. So I was like, maybe if I make my own movies, I can just act and shit. And that ended up turning me into a director. I just fell in love with like filmmaking, so I was always like making videos from like 16 years old. And then eventually I dropped out of school and moved to New York City to work in film production. And I started directing music videos. I remember my first music video, I was like trying to find a rapper that would let me. So I was like begging, I was literally begging artists and rappers like, yo, please let me do a video. I'll do it for free. Like, I'll fucking pay for it. Like, and I eventually—
Did you end up landing one?
Yeah, I convinced one guy. He put up some money, but I put up most of the money because it was like, it's like a business card. It was my first thing. Still to this day, like one of my sickest videos.
No way.
Shot it on a red cam, like it was dope.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You rented everything.
Yeah, I went big.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then from there, I started doing like commercials, more music videos, some film stuff, even reality television stuff. And I was a TV producer for a while, trying to sell TV shows. And then I just got sick of doing that. And I remember one day I was like watching this one show because I used to like watch everything for ideas. And it was like a dating show in Hawaii on MTV. It's called Are You the One?
Oh,
My ex-girlfriend showed me the show, and I was like, if we ever break up, I'm doing this show. We broke up, and I applied for I actually emailed the exec at MTV, and she was like, no, you have to apply. I can't just like put you on the show. So I was like, all right, I'll apply. I applied and got casted and ended up doing the show. And then from there, I went my whole life from like making videos for other people to now I got a bit of a following, like 40,000 at the time. And I was like, now I can finally make the videos I want to make, but it is like a catch. I have to be on camera. I can't be behind it.
Okay.
So I had to get like comfortable with, which I always was, like it was never a big thing for me, but I just like being behind the camera because I can control the shots and like make it look pretty.
The dynamic of filming yourself though, and you're being by yourself, I feel like has always been a huge issue for almost anyone.
Exactly.
Because it's like at all times you're used to like talking to people and conversating with people in person, getting a reaction, but you're just looking at this cold, dead item and talking to it.
Right?
I remember the first time that I did that too. It was absolutely insane. I'm just like, well, here's my morning, here's my cat, and all right, cut.
Yeah. How do you like A, keep it exciting, and B, make it look good? Because when you're like shooting, like whether it's vlog style or you're filming yourself, it's like you can't, like I like when I'm filming stuff to have movement with the camera, and get like really creative with it.
So for everyone that's like watching, which I'm sure a lot of people on YouTube are inspiring YouTubers, like what advice would you give them to like just start it up themselves?
Honestly, work on, if you can, work in the film industry. I was lucky because I knew I wanted to do that, so I worked every job on like big sets, production assistant to director's assistant to producer, sound guy, boom guy, like I did everything. And from doing music videos, actually, that helped me with the filmmaking the most because I could like experiment, whether it was with like filming, the shots, or the editing.
It's almost to the point where it's like, doing it yourself, it's easier to let yourself down, but if you like have to do it, like this guy that you brought over here, got the red cam, and now you're like, I have to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's even a good way, starting like booking an appointment with some like model or something, just trying to do some sort of video. So it's like the process of starting, recording the video, editing the video, and putting the video out. And once you get that process, it's like, okay, now you gotta do the same thing by myself.
It's like, it's like anything. And like, I don't want to sound like Gary Vee here, but you gotta go out there and you gotta make content. You gotta hit people up and you gotta be willing to do it for free.
Yeah.
Go make 4 videos.
All right, well, dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I actually know a lot about you. You're pretty dope.
Yeah,
One of
we're
my favorite
homies.
people in Los Angeles. But we have a tattoo to do today.
Let's do it, bro.
So let me know a little bit about what you're actually trying to get today.
So today I've been wanting to get a tattoo of a film camera for a long time because I literally grew up like that's pretty much like I've worked other jobs, but for the most part, being behind a camera or using a camera has always been such a big part of my life, and it's literally taken me all over the world. Just my skill set of knowing how to film, and like a big movie buff, love screenwriting, was always a director filmmaker for the past 15 years. So I always wanted to get, that's like a big thing for me.
I'm surprised you haven't got one of this.
I know, me either. I have like all kinds of tattoos. I didn't do a camera.
So right when you showed me, I was like, oh, that'd be a cool one to do.
Yeah, good. Well, because I actually sent you a bunch, but that was the first one. So at least, we're on the same page.
You're like, hey, I like it. And you're like, wait, I got more. I'm like, I like it.
Yeah, well, it's like, when you're working with different tattoo artists, like you want that artist to be excited about the piece. I'm sure people send you stuff sometimes and you're like just not genuinely into
all
it,
the time.
But they're so passionate about it. You're like,
I'm like, I love the passion behind it, but unfortunately, if I can't put my passion behind it, it's not going to be good for both of us.
Exactly. So that's why I sent you a bunch. I'm like, I'm down with whatever. I trust your obviously artistic ability, and I want you to like be excited to do it too.
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. So we have a lot of work to do. We'll show you a little bit about the drawing. Let's do it.
Let's do it. When do I get to tattoo you?
Cut. All right, so I want to start this off by kind of going over some of the basic questions that I feel I get a lot, and just anyone kind of starts a conversation off at a bar with stuff like, let me know when you got your first tattoo and what were your parents thinking when you got your first tattoo?
I got my first tattoo when I was like 16 years old. Definitely did not have my parental consent. I went to a tattoo shop in my neighborhood in Toronto that a lot of my like older cousins and stuff had gone to. So I had this picture of like our family like coat of arms from Calabria in Italy, and I went to the artist and I was like, I want to do the coat of arms over a cross. And I remember just sitting over a chair for like 6 hours, 5 hours. Like I didn't want to stop, didn't want to take any breaks. I just kind of wanted to get it over with. I mean, it's not bad for a first tattoo. It does kind of look a little Jersey Shore-ish, but it's not the worst tattoo I've ever got. But I tried to hide it from my parents. I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell them. And because, I don't know, like when you get tattooed for that long, your body kind of goes into like shock almost. I just didn't feel well afterwards. So I like went home and like laid in bed. But I had a hockey game that night. Canadian, obviously I had a hockey game. So I remember telling my parents I was sick, I couldn't play hockey, and my mom came in my room to check on me, and my dumb ass left the tattoo cream in the guy's business card on the table.
The business card too?
My mom's like, take your shirt off. She knew right away. And I was like, no, get out of my room. Kicked her out of my room. I locked the door, and like 2 minutes later, my dad comes back and you tell the difference of the knock. Like, boo, 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 open the door. I'm like, oh man. And then my dad made me take off my shirt. My mom like screamed, and they like disappeared. And then I remember the next morning I like crept upstairs to hear, you know, if anyone was talking about it. My mom happened to be on the phone with her sister, my aunt, who's like tatted up. And my mom was going to my aunt. She's like, well, it is a really beautiful tattoo and I can't take it off him now. So, and that's when the floodgates opened.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So you basically lasted like an hour of having the tattoo before you got caught up.
I must have set a record for getting caught the quickest.
You thought you were slick shit too, I bet.
I was like, I wonder how long I can hide this. Not even an hour. It was so bad.
So as far as you're talking about like the pain goes, do you think that like the beginning was the worst, the end was the worst, it just gradually get worse? Kind of explain the start and to the end of that whole process.
Yeah, so the first time you're getting tattooed, like you don't really know what to expect, like how the pain's gonna feel. And I think back then my tattoo artists are nowhere near like the talent they are today. And I'm happy I didn't get tatted up back then. I waited like, after that I didn't get another tat for like 3 years, and then I moved to LA and there's so many talented artists. Like, you're alright, but.
What's up now?
But yeah, the skill level of tattoo artists have gotten so much better, and I feel like back then the guy just like had a very heavy hand, so the tattoo in certain areas is like scarred, it is bumpy, it is a little blown out, and I think it did hurt, but I was just like 16, I wanted to suck it up, and I was like, I think I took one break out of like the 5 hours it took to tat. So
one break.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, when I first started, I'd take less breaks. I feel like that, like you want to like get up and take a break, and I feel like stretching your legs, it's a good thing. But and overall, once you get back, your adrenaline's kind of already shallowed out, and the momentum stops. So I feel like it hurts a lot more right when you start, but then you kind of get back into that like the swing of things. But the first couple lines, it hurts way more, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, when you take that break and then you come back, it does hurt way more than when you first start. You're right. Your body kind of like becomes numb to it over like time. So of the tattoo, not like for your lifetime. There's always like still feels, you know.
Yeah, I mean every tattoo. I had this girl where it's like every tattoo we did on her, she's like, this is the worst one. But I'm like, there's no way this was the worst one.
Because there's different parts of your body hurt way more.
So, did your parents have any tattoos?
My parents don't have any tattoos, but
so
actually,
they hated it.
Recently I had tattooed my mom's name on my knuckles, and I sent her a picture, and she was like, "Am I supposed to get yours?"
Yes. Did she?
Not yet. She would.
She's like, wait, what?
Yeah, she actually would. Well, my dad, we used to have a Great Dane. I have a tattoo of the Great Dane, but my dad wants to get one as well. So.
Did you like yours? What's out of all your tattoos, what's the one that they like the most, you think?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've never well, they haven't. I just recently got like one of my dad's like album cover. He hasn't seen that in person yet. I would imagine,
he saw a picture though.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be his favorite. But as far as like the family goes, I think they like obviously we really love the dog, so the dog portrait was pretty killer.
The only one that you got that makes sense to them.
Yeah, none of these tattoos make any sense.
Yeah, so I see you got a lot of them, and it's very an aesthetic style. It's kind of a new generation thing. You want to break down like why you decided to go this route over like something that I'm kind of doing, where it's just more of like a full-on coverage.
So for me, like I always wanted to get tattooed, but I couldn't commit to like one image I wanted to blast on like my whole arm or like do a full sleeve. So I kind of started out, like my first tattoo was pretty big, and then from there I kind of like started out smaller, and then I came across like Shamrock and like Mark Mahoney and like Dr. Wu and like
no free brand deals here.
Alright.
I'm just kidding.
I've never been tattooed by any of them.
Yeah, they're OGs in that particular style, like the very like detailed micro tattoos.
Yeah, and like that, they say that style started in prison. Like the prisoners would have like a guitar string and like some pen ink, and single needle was born in jail. And when these guys came out, they kind of stuck with that style. Not that those guys went to jail or anything, but that style of single needle, slim needle tattooing became popular. So I just started, I don't remember, what was the first? Probably, I got one for my like lake house in Canada, which was done by a guy in LA, and then I had another, this globe on my arm done by another artist in LA, and then I had met a guy in LA by the name of Noah, who you know.
Yeah. Noah, amazing artist. Definitely go check his stuff out.
Yeah, so Noah has done a ton of my tattoos. And I just like I said, I couldn't commit to one image, so I started doing like sticker book style, they call it, like little pieces all over my arm. And now I guess I'm kind of have to commit to doing this style.
That's the one thing about tattoos, yeah. It's like once you kind of get an aesthetic going, like to stick with that, at least on that particular body part, is an overall better decision. But it's like if you did ever want to get like a traditional one or a bigger one, like you could just head to your leg, something more hidden.
Yeah.
And that's definitely the place where you can even get more like risky tattoos.
Yeah.
But talking about risky tattoos, are there any tattoos that are a little like on the edge, like maybe I shouldn't, maybe I'm a little drunk, like what's the one that you're like questionable?
I've actually gotten a couple removed because they were just so shit.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I've gotten 2 tattoos removed. One was my dog's paw print on the top of my foot, and it was the same guy that did the one on my back, and it just like, it was so poorly done. People are like, when I wasn't wearing socks, people were like, what the hell is that? And it looks like broccoli.
Oh,
so then,
no.
yeah, eventually I just started, I was like, whatever, I went to get it lasered off. And this is like 7 years ago when like laser tattoo removal was not what it is today.
Yeah, it was painful.
Especially on the top of the foot. That tattoo hurt enough on the top of the foot. Getting it removed hurt 20 times more. So then I had gotten another tattoo after I did the MTV show for like Hawaii. It said Ohana, which means for like family in Hawaiian, I guess. To like family to people that aren't your family. Apparently there's a Disney movie that's like a big thing. I hadn't even seen it.
I've seen it.
Yep, Lilo and Stitch. So this tattoo just kind of looked like a tramp stamp on my leg. So I got that removed as well. This time it didn't hurt at all. This was like 2 years ago. So the technology on getting tattoos removed has definitely improved in case anyone out there is regretting any of their ink.
Yeah, definitely at this point, everyone always asks me, like, does laser hurt? And I'm like, it really does, but it's so fast, like, it doesn't even matter anymore. And like at this point, they're like numbing people, so like it really doesn't hurt at all. But my thing, it doesn't hurt enough where I even want to sit an extra 30 minutes there getting numbed. Yeah. I'm like, dude, get in, rip me up, and I'm getting out. Like, I got shit to do.
I went to a doctor in Beverly Hills that had the machine, but he used it like a different technique where he injected a numbing under the skin.
Oh, what?
Bro, I did not feel a thing at all. It was like the most seamless, painless tattoo removal I've ever had in my life.
Well, to everyone out there watching, most places aren't that bougie, so don't expect that treatment.
But if you are an influencer, this guy will do it for free.
Yeah.
So, hit up Dr. Simone.
Oh shit, I've never heard of that actually. I think the first time there were some basketball players that tattooed Jalen Ramsey, and he was showing me this lady that will actually come to you and put needles under your skin and numb your arm for tattoos.
Really?
And like needle under your skin, she puts it like an inch apart from each thing. And I think like Lorenzo Ball was getting it, and like Kevin Durant got it. It was soft.
I like the pain. I don't know, I like it. They say like there's something about getting tattooed where like your adrenaline and like it's good for you, it's good for your body. Like
I think so too.
It's a good experience. It's a whole experience. You gotta I don't know, just like accept the whole experience. Everything from like, you know, picking the tattoo to, you know, talking to the artist, discussing it, placing it, to actually feeling the needle go in, and like.
I feel like it's more rewarding for long term. Like
Yeah.
it's just like more rewarding feel to kind of have like this pain, you know. And it kind of like, to me, like when you get tattoos, even if they don't mean anything, they kind of like help you remember to like mark a time, like just like a time in your life. So you like look down, and you remember that time just because it was so like. Just like you can feel like something happened at that time, you know, like the pain.
For sure.
So it's just easier to remember. So at this point, what do you think your favorite tattoo is besides the one I'm doing right now?
Besides, I don't know. I think
you have to be biased for one. You have to.
I think I have 2 of my favorites so far. I haven't seen this completed yet. We'll re-answer this when we're done. But
yeah, I like that.
My favorite tattoos I have so far are the portrait of my dog, my Great Dane, on my ribs here, and then the creation of Adam fingers on my bicep.
Oh yeah, that came out dope.
Yeah.
Like, what was your process when you started getting them? Was it a specific area you started with? Was it just scattered?
I kind of so when I first started getting tattooed, I guess I kind of at first wanted to hide them, I guess. You do them on like your torso or your leg or your foot because you're a bitch.
Get a dog print.
You get a dog fucking paw print on your foot. Looks like cauliflower. And then, like I said, I moved to LA and like everyone's tatted up, and there's such talented artists out here that I, started looking on Instagram, and I just like found artists and got inspired, and I was like, I'm gonna do one on this arm, on like my forearm. And then from there, it's like, okay, well now I'm gonna go to the bicep. And then I just started doing like these like sticker book style placements all over this left arm. And I kind of left this arm open in case I wanted to do like a big sleeve, but I just don't think it'll go with like the style now because I have these little tattoos all over me.
So with that being said, you went over to this arm, and the first thing you decided to get was a photo of the Godfather. Tell me about that.
So yeah.
I mean, you are the Godfather of Canada,
but I got the Godfather because it didn't really go with anything on this arm. Originally, I tried to keep this arm to like places I've lived or like places that mean a lot to me, or like I even have tattoos from like when I had traveled like Australia or like Asia, like whatever. I would get a tattoo in those places. That's before I like kind of realized that it's not a good idea unless you're trying to contract hepatitis.
To get Thailand tattoos.
Yeah, don't get the Thailand tat. You don't need that elephant. Come back here, get a better one from Daniel. But yeah, so originally it started with like places and things that meant a lot to me, and then I was like, I had always wanted to do a Godfather piece because it means a lot to like my family. We watch it every year at Christmas, and like I'm Italian, it hits home, and the Godfather of Canada,
Yeah, obviously. That's why I thought you got it.
Yeah.
I thought
just thought most people like don't, dating younger chicks in their early 20s, they don't know what the hell that is.
What do you mostly get?
I say it's my grandfather.
Yeah. Like a huge deep story about it?
Yeah, it's my grandfather.
Alright, so tell me about another tattoo, or the other one that's on the arm that I'm just staring at.
The other one is a
couple of boys in the boat.
So, this one's another portrait on my arm here of my family. We've had this boat since 1987. We've had it since longer than I've been alive. And this boat, we originally had a boat, and they used to call it the schibos, which like in Italian means like waste, like trash, shit. It meant shit. It was a shit boat. So then they got a new boat, and they called it the non chamale, which means not bad in Italian. Hey. So we still have the non chamale, and I am the only person in my family, and we got a big family, the only one that drives this boat and like knows how to fire it up. I have like a special bond with it. So I keep it alive every year, and I have some great stories on this boat. So I put a picture of my best friend and I on my arm there. And it actually turned out pretty fun, like great, but it's just like a funny story, and like
it's a couple of, you can just see a couple of homies on there. It's so funny.
I've started
it looks like you added a little six pack on you, huh?
I told him,
from the good old days.
Like shredded me up a little bit. I look fatter than my buddy in the photo, who's actually way fatter than me. So
you gotta put a little thickness on him.
Yeah. And we actually photoshopped him and put him in the back because he was like upstaging me.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Respect.
I started thinking about adding all my buddies in the boat.
There's a gang, yeah, dude. Oh, you could put a little like a little thing on the back, somebody holding on to it, shit. A couple people falling off.
Yeah.
That's actually jokes. Yeah, you could put someone laying down.
Yeah,
just
like a girl on the front.
Oh, that's funny. So tell me about another one that you like. You got a bunch over there.
Dude, I have so many tattoos, like random ones.
What's the ones that mean like the most to you? That's on that arm particularly.
This arm particularly, like I said, it's like a lot of places that I've lived. So I have like coordinates from like my childhood home. I have a Sunset Boulevard tattoo because I've lived on Sunset for 10 years, ever since I moved to LA. I have an LA Times tat for the 10 years I've been here. I have a CN Tower for Toronto.
Oh yeah, the tower's cool.
Yeah, I even have this little Banksy's piece. See, like the social media thing.
Oh yeah.
It's by Banksy's, and it means nobody likes me. This is a 000.
Oh yeah.
It's like a famous piece of art by Banksy's. I thought it was dope.
Okay, so you started getting some more like artistic kind of some cool vibes.
I branched out from like the, like how many places have I lived? Like,
so that's why you really live in the kitchen. Is why you got the fork and the knife.
Yeah, literally, I do live in the kitchen, so I got the fork and knife. I have like different places that mean things to me in Canada. I have like this really poorly done Canadian flag on the back of my bicep. Show you that one?
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna
believe you could fill it in with a little like scenery or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fill it in with the Toronto skyline.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah. And then I have another piece right here that my grandmother passed away a few years ago. And like I said, we got a big ass family, so she was always like cooking up crazy meals. And her property was pretty big, so everyone would kind of be all scattered. And when the meal was ready, she'd come out with this like big bell, and she'd ring the bell, and then everyone would like drop whatever they're doing and run over and like, you know, try and get a seat at the table.
Just like the movies.
Yeah. So I got her. We still have the bell. I got it tattooed on me on my right here.
Oh, did you have her like send you a picture of the bell?
No, I took a picture of the bell.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because we still have it.
I see a little risky boy over there. It looks like it should be on a little tramp stamp tat, but it's on your arm.
Which one?
Has little cherries.
Oh,
What's good
yeah.
with those little cherries, my guy?
So yeah, popped a lot of cherries in my face.
Oh no!
No, I'm just kidding. So my buddy Noah was actually doing a pop-up at like some event, and I was there. Like obviously went to go say what up, and he had like a sheet of like 10 tattoos you could pick, and I went with a lightning bolt on my middle finger and the cherries. Thought it was something different, something funny. And ironically, out of all these tattoos, that's the first thing people always ask, why the cherries?
Yeah.
I need to
It's
come
the
up
only
with
thing
a
that's like
better
red.
story.
It looks like a little pimple at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's some cherries.
I need to come up with a better story for the cherries.
Yeah, the real story that I know. It's a little too graphic.
You want this to get demonetized or what?
Okay.
What's the most risky tattoo you got?
I ended up getting my buddy Nafisa's name on my leg and my buddy Dalton's name on my leg. So I just kind of like did it with no stencil or no nothing. And one night we were just all drinking and shit. And it's like before I was like a professional tattoo artist. I was just drunk in the garage.
Wait,
like,
you're a professional?
Oh, I tried to. I just started like wrecking my freaking leg. So it's like right here.
I'd get Nafisa's name on me.
You would?
Shout out to
Never
Nafis.
even met him.
Never even met
Yeah,
him.
which is actually crazy.
FaceTime.
The way we actually met was through one of my good friends from back home. He's a graphic designer. He did stuff for you.
Yeah.
I thought you guys met and hung out, but it ended up not being that way.
No.
But I saw this guy just going crazy in LA. Had the best time, dude. I had to slide in the dude's DM.
Yeah, literally.
Slide and be like, dude, what's good? Let's kick it. And ever since that, dude, it's been so dope.
We've had some. We've
The
had some
Vegas
funny
trip was
stories,
insane.
bro, yeah. You
Um,
have any tattoos you regret? You got any lasered off?
I've been getting some lasered off. So yeah, there are tattoos that I regret. And yeah, the tattoos I regret are on the side of my arm. And I basically got them when I was like 16, the first tattoos I've ever gotten. And I did one, I ended up drawing it myself, and it was not good.
Really?
And I did one on the other side, and because I wanted to like even out. I've always been like symmetrical. If I get one over here, I kind of want one over here.
I'm like that
on
too.
the chest, I really want it to be symmetrical. I
Yeah.
feel like it just feels like lopsided at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, ended up lasering them off. One's like, they're so
Oh, you have lasered some off.
they're almost gone, so even if I videotaped them, you couldn't tell what they are, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm sure you got some old pics.
I don't have
No?
any old pics of me, honestly.
I think I have. Yeah, I screenshotted because.
A pic of me?
No, my.
Oh, of your old ones.
Yeah,
Alright, we'll
yeah,
throw that up
I
on
know.
the
I have all your.
I was like, damn.
I'm trying to see. I have the one of that I got off my foot. Yeah, look. This is me getting it lasered out. Look, 20 likes.
Oh, shoot.
Inked my whole body. Now I give a mother.
Look at that, dude. Look at your. Oh, yeah, they make it with the guys. Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Where is the tattoo actually? It's the
It was
whole
on the
entire
top of my
thing.
foot. Yeah, I had a Great Dane. It was
That's how
huge.
big it was?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a Great Dane. It was huge.
Yeah, look, see on my foot?
Holy shit.
It was his actual paw print.
Wow.
And I felt bad that I removed it. The dog passed away, so I wanted to do a portrait of him. But I was like, you know, you see dog portraits and they always look so, like, not always, but most of the time, look awful.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really want to do one of, like, of his face because I see people get those tattoos and they look awful. So I kind of waited till I found, like, the right person, and then I wanted one of his, like, body, and then that's how I met Noah, actually.
Oh, the dog portrait was the first one.
Yeah, and he had only been tattooing for like a year, 2 years at the time. And I found him off a hashtag on Instagram for a Fornicetti tattoo. And yeah, I went in there, got the dog, and that was the first time we met. And he told me like a years later that he was tripping out about that tattoo because he didn't know if he could do it.
No.
Yeah.
That's how it is with tattoo artists, dude. You just gotta pretend you're just confident. That's why, like, a lot of people that want to get into it, like, if you're not a people person or you're not just can like talk and like almost act like in that beginning stage of the first year, you're just not gonna get nowhere because you just gotta pretend like no matter what comes at you, like, hey, I can do this shit and make the person feel comfortable.
Yeah,
Little
of
do you
course.
know, it's the first freaking portrait.
Yeah.
It's the getting of your mom and it's on your arm. Next thing you know, it comes out like shit, and that's the bad part. But that's why you do your research, you pay the money, you
Yeah.
get something good.
Yeah. And like it also helps too when like you actually like vibe with the artist. Like I've gotten tattoos done by so many different artists, and like half of them I was like I never talked to again, didn't make me feel like comfortable or like welcome, and like it's all part of like learning, I guess.
Yeah, tattoo artists aren't the most friendly people, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean I get it. They see so many people. I'm sure everybody has an off day or whatever, but
yeah, that's the catch too, where it's like that's like the thing with tattoo artists that you gotta make sure you're not like into, where it's like it's so important to that person. It's their tattoo, but like it's the person's just like another day in the job.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
But like that's what makes a good tattoo artist and not a good tattoo artist is like making sure that that person feels special and making sure that they know that that day you're really gonna try hard to make like the best tattoo ever.
Yeah. Are you ever gonna do like your neck or your face?
So I will end up tattooing my neck. I can't wait to tattoo my neck because that's the thing for like most people's job. Like tattooing the neck is unbeneficial to whatever it may be. But for me as a tattoo artist, no matter what I do, if I'm a model or an actor this or a teacher this, it's like I'm a tattoo artist regardless. So it's like more tattoos the better because the more conversations spark that like, holy shit, this guy's tatted is just more beneficial. So I can't wait. Whatever it's gonna be, which I kind of already know, is definitely gonna be like symmetrical on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the face, I don't know about that. If I have all my body tattooed, I'm old and like,
maybe like a little.
yeah,
piece,
but
no.
I don't know about that.
No.
That's risky.
It's too pretty. You can't.
Yeah, if I was
tattoo
an ugly
that
dude,
face.
I'd try to distract from my ugly face and get
Tattoo
one. Yeah.
another face onto your face.
I'm gonna tattoo David Beckham's face on my face and be like, dude, I'm looking pretty good.
Who would you let tattoo your neck?
I don't really know. I would draw it no matter what. Yeah, I can't trust anyone. I've had bad experiences with trusting people to do my tattoos. Yeah, it's really hard, man. It's really hard. It's one of those things where it's hard for me to pick someone to do my tattoos because it's like I care so much and I spend so much time on mine. If I don't reciprocate that same energy from that person, I'm already thinking like you're not really trying, which I would say is probably like the base root of my success is just how much time and energy I put into it. It's like every single tattoo, as good as someone may think I am, I never go into a tattoo like really cocky at all. I'm usually really fucking nervous, and that's usually why it comes out so good. It's because I'm like in it. I'm like nervous. I'm scared. I want to do a good job, But if the person you come in and they're just casually doing stuff, then it's just hard. And speaking of that, I got a lot of work to do. So you've been talking a lot, man. But I got stuff to do. So thank you so much for telling me about your tattoos. But we got to finish this thing.
100%. I can't wait.
Let's get it. So we're done with the tattoo. Fortunately, I didn't mess up. I hope.
I hope too.
We'll see how he likes it.
It's like Christmas, but better.
Boom. Jeez.
There it goes.
Holy, bro, that's crazy. Look at that detail. Bro, the white, look at the white in there, just makes it pop like crazy.
For real though, bro.
I
That's
think my favorite part at this point is probably this middle thing, just because it pops so much.
Yeah, the actual camera.
But I
button.
feel like each little gadget on it just like has its time to shine.
the detail, dude. The buttons, the film reels.
You
fucking killing me, brother.
Crushed it. Another one for the books. So I hope you guys like this version of the tattoo series of TAT Talks. So if you guys do like it, have any suggestions of different series I should put in it, or like little parts, like we're even thinking of letting you guys ask questions in the comments. And if you guys have any suggestions, just leave comments below. Make sure to subscribe. Go down, follow Zak's channel. He does honestly super hilarious videos. I'm pretty sure he did one with Tom Cruise one time.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys find that out later. But thank you guys so much for your support. And at this point,